Gentlemen and ladies, tennis enthusiasts from globally, and particularly to the millions of people are supporting welcome to the burgeoning Asian tennis star back. Breaking news is about to be released. Now in the Middle East that alters things for the next week in the women's world tennis. If you believed the thrill had reached its highest point in Abu Dhabi, such that the Doha's grief marked the end of the Alexandria is swinging from the Middle East, you must re-evaluate your expectations. Right away. We have official verification. The green light is with us. Additionally, we have a situation that just does not occur daily for a 20-year-old ascending to the WTA Tour's rankings. Obtain it is official, thus it is ready. Alexandra Eala has obtained automatic access to primary attraction of the duty-free tennis in Dubai titles. There's no drill here. This is not conjecture. This is a verified that the position was secured in one of the most esteemed, most challenging and most profitable competitions on the whole WTA schedule. We are discussing a WTA 1000 occurrence. A competition that only less than the Grand Slams in what points and prestige. Additionally, the Filipino sensation no longer battles against the dangerous preliminary stages. She's living in there and waiting for the most well-known figures in sports. Let's recognize the seriousness of this situation. 24 hours ago, the story was very different. We were examining a demanding qualification program. We were examining the possibility that Eala may under intense pressure to win 2 or even 3 games just to get the right to enter onto the court with the best in the world. However, the professional tennis scene changes quickly as a result of an abrupt change in the list of entries, includes significant withdrawals from significant stars. Now the door is swung wide. The WTA officials and organizers have verified Alexandra Eala's involvement in Improved. She has essentially been given a straight path and the golden ticket to Dubai's round of 64. Why does this issue? Why is the world of tennis are you excited about this particular development? Due to the duty-free tennis in Dubai championships are more than simply another competition. It's an attrition-based conflict. It is an assembly of the supreme giants of the game. We are discussing a field. Include Orion, the top-ranked person in the world. Sabalenka. We are discussing Instagram. We are discussing the Elena Rybakina, winner of the Australian Open. It's a completely loaded draw. And now standing next to each other with these giants without requiring a single qualifier's ounce of energy is Eala Alexandra. This evolution occurs at a pivotal point in Eala's 2026 season. Everyone saw what transpired in Doha. The first round was seen leaving. We saw the dissatisfaction over an increase of Valentova. Critics were beginning to murmur. They wanted to know whether the weariness was taking hold. They wanted to know whether the swing from the Middle East was becoming too strong. Of a hardship for the budding celebrity. This news quickly silences that skepticism. It offers a button for reset. It provides Eala with a days of relaxation, planning, and strategic. She wouldn't have had that analysis if she was sifting through the qualifiers. This changes a week of turning doubt into a week of certain chance. Consider the consequences for her rating. Eala Alex has recently entered the top 40. She is occupying a career-high position, but protecting that position is more difficult to attain than it. The points on a WTA 1000 event offer is enormous. One victory in Dubai's primary attraction is worth more than a deep run at a lesser level, like 250 or 125 competition. The financial stakes are quite high. The worldwide visibility, but more significantly this has to do with validation. Acquiring direct admission into a major attraction of this size communicate with the locker room. It informs the tour that Eala has changed her peripheral character wishing for good fortune take a break. She is a mainstay of the draw. She is someone who should play center court against the finest beneath the lights. This video will serve as the final analysis of this significant news. We're not only glancing at the surface. We will delve deeply. We intend to examine the specific ways in which this wildcard style entry took place. We will examine the withdrawals mathematical formulas that cleared the path for her. We will shatter down the many rivals she may meet in the first round. We intend to talk about the tactical changes she must make after the defeat in Doha against Indoor on the blazingly fast court to Dubai. Additionally, we will discuss the advantage of the home court. The unquestionable, overwhelming support for the Filipinos in the United Arab Emirates who turn each Alexandra Eala game into a Davis Cup match. Environment. Everyone, fasten your seatbelts. The Middle East swing has just discovered its second wind. Doha's darkness has vanished. Dubai's lights are beckoning. The primary attraction is Alexandra Eala. The scene for a historic conflict has been set. Let's examine the specifics. Now let's begin an in-depth analysis by analyzing just how this happened. In the realm of the entrance list for professional tennis is a live, breathing document. It varies hourly. 6 weeks beforehand, when the first lists were created, although Alex's rating was outstanding, it did not ensure her a place in the main of a WTA 1000 field. These competitions are private clubs. They are set aside. In the top 20 and 30. Everybody otherwise is often confined to the preliminary round, a vicious Hunger Games-type knockout competition only to get access to the line of departure. Eala was ready for that. That's what her squad was ready for. The attitude was focused on getting there. Early in Dubai, battling to the bottom rank but risky qualifiers and hope to live. However, the dominoes began to drop. The demanding character of the elites suffered as a result of the trip. We observed withdrawals from well-known brands like as Marquette of Vandrasova, Naomi Osaka, Madison Keys as well. In the game of tennis ecosystem, the bad luck of one player is the miracle of another player. When the draw player leaves, the place doesn't just vanish, it becomes accessible. Additionally, since of Alexandra Eala's quick rise to prominence, she reached the ranking milestone of 40. Days ago, she was flawless. In a position to profit. This is what we refer to it as an upgrade. Although the news headline presents this as a wild card. Essentially feels just like one, this is even better in theory. An Untamed the organizers gave the card as a gift. This entry, this was merited. This was something that was earned. For each and every issue she fought for in Manila, Melbourne, Auckland, and for the last 6 weeks in Abu Dhabi. She was ranked so highly that she was a follow-up. This is an important difference. It indicates that she is not occupying a slot set aside for a local participant or invitation for a promotion. She is occupying a space because she belongs based on her rating. She is saved by this automated input. Legs. We cannot exaggerate the physical qualifying toll. Qualifiers often play 2 games over the course of 2 days before even the major competition starts. By the time in round 1, they take against a sitting player. They are already bearing weariness. Eala now completely avoids it. She walks inside a new main draw. She walks in with a complete gas tank and in opposition to the power hitter she is about to confront. She will need all of that energy. To comprehend the scope of our foray into Dubai, we must remove the lens and examine Alexandra Eala's 2026 trajectory season. It is just the middle of February. However, she seems to have performed a complete tennis for the season. This has been the most aggressive and ambitious beginning to a year in her professional life. Let's go back to the beginning. She began at the ASB Classic. Auckland made it to the semifinals. The warning was that. Directed toward the tour. Next, she proceeded to the Kong Classic is a display. Indeed, but she was the winner. She raised the prize that creates a successful habit. Next came the momentous occasion at the Australian. Her first major draw was the Open. Although she lost to Alicia Parks in the first round, there was no denying the caliber of the tennis. She didn't back down. She went back for the Philippine Women's Open in Manila, making it to the quarterfinals, overcoming the tremendous strain of a home crowd. The tilt to the Middle East followed. Abu Dhabi was a surprise. Arriving at the AWTA 500 events quarterfinals is not little accomplishment. It pushed her into the top 40. It demonstrated that she could manage the circumstances, the heat, and the journey. Then Doha arrived. Teresa's loss during the first round of the Qatar Open was painful. It was true. Verify. Valentova, another up-and-coming teenager star, beat Eala in the pivotal moments. That defeat may have gone wrong. Her speed. It may have sown a doubtful seed. For this reason, the Dubai news is really important. If Eala had to enter Dubai qualifying right away after the psychological strain, the Doha loss would have been oppressive. A decline in qualifying would have required consecutive early departures, which might send her before the Indian Wells, into a spiral and swing in Miami. However, this automated primary draw entrance serves as a barrier. It halts the slide. It provides her with a sure platform to make up for the performance in Doha. It guarantees she gets out of the Middle East competing on the largest stages accessible. The course is evident. Eala is not a junior anymore. Going pro. She works full-time. A tour guide negotiating the peaks and the circuit's lows. The novice the label is disappearing. She is now in the top 40 participant. And that ranking is followed by the benefit of automated entries. This is a new standard. And the first is Dubai. This new status's true test. Let's now discuss the battlefield and the Dubai duty-free tennis tournaments. If you are a casual admirer, you may believe the tournaments are limited to Grand Slams. That are important. You would be mistaken. In numerous AWD 1000 like Dubai is more difficult to triumph over a Grand Slam. Here's why. There are 128 players in the Grand Slam. The draw is weak. You might pretend to be a player, placed either 100th or 120th in the first round. You may gradually enter the competition. The attraction in Dubai is smaller, with 56 players on average, and the cutoff is cruel. Nearly all of the draw is placed in the top 50 or 60. No matches are simple. There are no rounds of warm-up. Alexandra Eala is moving into the lair of lions. The area is led by the athlete Aina Sabalenka on hard courts, whose power game is perhaps the greatest in history. We have Instagram. Swiatek, the strategist, the shifter, the unrelenting power. Elena Rykina is here, who thrives in these Middle Eastern countries' circumstances. Her serve pierces like a knife in the arid air. We have Coco, Amanda Gauff and Mara Andrea Isamova. The talent density is oppressive. Eala finds this to be an intriguing challenge. In the primary draw, she was able to be pitted against a player in the top 10. Right away. Consider a match in round 1. Coco Gauff against Alexandra Eala or Alexandra Eala in contrast to Jessica Pegula. These are the matchups that take the stage during nighttime sessions. These are the games that are televised worldwide. Coverage. However, there is a bright side. Eala is unseeded, which makes her a no-seed wants to witness a floater. The opponent is under complete pressure. If Eala has nothing and plays as a top 10 seed, to lose, she is free to swing. She is able to take chances. And from her matches, we know versus powerful opponents. Eala prospers when she is able to use her opponents beat them. The courts in Dubai are infamously quick. They provide aggressive timing. Taking the ball is rewarded early. Eala's lefty forehand works well with this. Should she be able to get a premium seat on a terrible day, a disturbance is not only conceivable, it is believable. We must have a sincere discussion about the actual game of tennis. The defeat versus Valentova in Doha pointed out a few instances where Eala and she coaching staff must deal with before she enters the Dubai courts. Here in Doha, we saw Eala having some difficulty with uniformity when put on the defensive. As Valentova increased, the Eala was pushed back behind due to aggressiveness. The starting point. The courts in Dubai are much quicker. If Eala doesn't play, if she will wait for the opportunity to present itself, be penalized due to the quality of players in this primary attraction. The in-depth analysis of her strategies indicate that she must make 3 particular modifications for this competition. First, the positioning of the serve too much power. Eala will not leave. Serve either Sabalenka or Rybakina. She lacks the cannon that can reach 120 miles per hour, yet she has a slice on the left. She must make advantage of its slider to open the ad court wide up the court. In Dubai, going to places is more significant than sheer speed. She must a high rate of first serves to avoid opponents from launching an assault on her second serve. The second is the return of serve. Hostility. In a WTA's primary attraction 1000, it's hard to hold serve. The A set is often decided by a break of service. The eel has amazing hands. She must move, catching her second serve's adversaries. She is unable to just chip the ball, but she must push it hard to edges to make the message less obvious right away. The third is emotional administration. We saw the annoyance in Doha. We saw the glances and the racket taps. To the box in Dubai in opposition to the global best. There will be problems. She'll receive aced. She will make forced mistakes. The mental strength to refocus in order to have a goldfish forgets the last time it was the decisive element will be the point. She physically belongs here. The query is, does she think she fits in here? When the score is 4-4, psychologically a grand slam in the third set champion. Let's discuss numbers. Playing tennis professionally is a business, and the primary attraction of a WTA 1000 is profitable. Simply entering the court in the first round, the reward money matters. Often within the range between $15,000 and $20,000 or more, depending on the particular pool for that year. This money a group. It covers the cost of the coaches, the flights to Indian Wells, the physios next month. However, the money that ranking points are what really count. Alex is now around the globe. 40. This season she wants to definitely in the top 30, if not the top 20. A defeat in the WTA 1000.